Hello Aries, Aries rising, and of course all of you Aries moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting January 27th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you should follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on when it comes to the astrology for your coming week? Everything seems to be shifting up just as we start the week off. It's all happening at the beginning of the week, which is kind of a nice change from the last month where everything seems to be happening on the latter half. And on Monday, we've actually got Venus, the planet of love, affection, harmony, favor, as well as, again, a bit of romance and generosity, forming a conjunction with Neptune in Pisces. And this is occurring in your 12th house of your past, your privacy and your hidden zone. And it does look like there's some kind of gift, some kind of hidden treasure being offered to you at this point in time. But I'm getting a very distinct feeling that it has to do with linking you up with an old dream, something that you've always wanted. It gives off the energy to me of somebody who's maybe has a chance to finally get maybe something that they aspired to have, or maybe an experience they wanted to have, or maybe maybe some kind of event or exchange that goes way back. You know, it's like a dream that we may have given up. Maybe back, you know, we were a lot younger, or perhaps sometimes we see this kind of energy show up where somebody is getting us back in touch with our roots by actually giving us a prize from our roots, or from, again, older self aspirations from yesteryear. And it does look to be quite a sweet energy for a lot of you, because this is kind of cluing us in. It's waking a spark back up. Venus conjunct Pisces is all about generosity and wish fulfillment, but in this case, it's a wish you're not making now, but a wish that maybe was never granted once upon a time, getting a chance to be now with you in the present. On Tuesday and Wednesday, however, we've got Mars, planet of action, energy, and aggression, your ruler, in Sagittarius, your 9th house of higher education, government and legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your spiritual life, and your ideology, forming a square to Neptune in Pisces, that 12th house. And it does look like there may be some clashes that come up during this period over things like spiritual linklings, philosophy, ideology, sometimes, unfortunately, politics, when it appears that maybe somebody around you, or maybe other folks in your life, are trying to simply box you in, if that makes sense. Somebody is trying to keep you in a box. Somebody is maybe associating you with the group that they identify with, and maybe a unique expression of yourself, maybe an evolution that you're making in your personal growth, is suddenly threatening to them. Because in a lot of cases with Mars square to Neptune, it's a sign that somebody's not comfortable with ambiguity. They're not necessarily capable of processing nuance at this point in time in their journey, and sometimes they can take those shifts very personally. Maybe they leaned on this spiritual, political, or ideological group for emotional or mental or social support, and they kind of needed everyone to stay on script. And yet at the same time, it turns out that can also indicate a friendship that is conditional upon everyone staying on script is not really a true friendship. And I feel like this week a lot of you Aries people may need to, again, be prepared. Understand that it's not your responsibility to stay on script for somebody else's stability, whatever part of their journey that they're on. But also at the same time, don't take it personally. It's not a judgment of the choices or the growth that you're making in whatever direction you're going. But maybe it says more about the person who needs everyone to stay on and adhere to a script. Before we move on to the cards, it's important to remember, guys, if you ever have any questions or any concerns, or maybe you have certain things that you need direction towards, please follow the links below. My God, I have answers to so many of the frequently asked questions already linked in videos, such as how do I find a video I'm looking for, Should I be looking at my rising sign, my moon sign, my sun sign? How do I feel about all of these reversals? All of those questions can be answered if you just look at the down bar below this video. Believe me, there's a lot going on there. And I do want to remind everyone who is a Patreon pledge that your monthly astrology horoscopes for February have been up. So if you've not checked them out yet, you might want to do so after you're done here. So what is going on when it comes to your cards? Well, as you can see, it looks like we have a lot of reversed cards going on here. Now, reversed cards are not necessarily bad. Actually, we have two distinctly positive reversed cards down on the bottom row. So I don't want anyone to get ahead of me and assume that this indicates it's going to be a negative week or anything along those lines, okay? So bear with me. When it comes to your spiritual themes, we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. And again, we have things that are maybe being censored or held back finally coming out in all kinds of ways this week. The Ace of Cups reverse is definitely giving off more of that sense of a lot of built-up emotions or self-censorship or suppressed feelings, desires, or cares are starting to kind of well up on the inside for a lot of people. And in an interesting twist, we also have with the influx card, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, which is talking about people suddenly becoming very cognizant of inequities or maybe a lack of effectiveness, things not working, things not doing what they propose to do. And then overall with the outflux, we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. And so we're kind of seeing people, we're kind of seeing groups, again, organizations, assignments, and projects for where they really are versus what they might boast to be or what they might have led us to believe. Now, this does not necessarily mean that everything is happening on some kind of morally awful level. Sometimes these things are accidents. Sometimes, it's a person or a group or maybe a movement or a project faking it till it makes it, and then it just never makes it, and then all you have is a fake. But you're starting to identify a lot of these things, and with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, well, this week is all about redistributing our energy, redistributing our trust, redistributing our resources. Sometimes we can get really caught up, especially in situations where there are multiple people dependent on other people to kind of perform a certain way or emote or behave a certain way, where that script eventually betrays, the individuals in the group. And all of a sudden it's the Borg, right, working to serve the hive. And in this week, and that's a betrayal of individual spiritual growth, it really is. And so with the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you Aries people did actually spend a lot of this week, pulling back a lot of your immaterial and material resources from people. Again, starting to kind of wake up, have some epiphanies, some discoveries of with the Seven of Swords reversed going away, of who people really are, where they're really at, and just kind of paying attention, again, also with that Mars square to Neptune. Where is it happening that maybe something is not delivering on its promises? And where do we actually start to recover? Okay, because that's what this is all about. It's about honesty, recovery, getting everything out there, and deciding to, again, retract, divest, and give things where they belong, give things to those whom they really deserve, and pull away from that which is only giving us the false imperative that that's where we need to be spending most of our time, energy, and efforts. As we get down to the mundane concerns, more specific day-to-day stuff, well, with your material concerns, we've actually got the Four of Cups in reverse, and we've got some very positive breakthroughs going on, because the Four of Cups reversed is always trying to break us out of a rut. In this case, it's relating to your money, it's relating to your professional standing, it's relating to job prospects or any kind of earning power that you have. Because the Four of Cups reversed, I'm actually seeing a very advantageous break in your routine or break in your everyday. This could be an offer coming from somebody that does not necessarily normally fit the bill or would find themselves maybe in the work culture or in the financial community that you circulate in. And it does look like something a little bit off the beaten path is going to be trying really hard to grab and hold your attention this week. Whenever we get the Four of Cups reversed, it's important to understand that this is a way out of a situation that is either stuck or going in circles. And so for a lot of you this week, you're going to have that breakthrough. So again, a positive reversed card. For the external, when it comes to your friends and your relatives and other people, we have that Three of Cups reversed, which very much validates what we saw going in the top row. We're going to be noticing some distinct incompatibilities and some drifts in our social life this week. And that's not necessarily the end of the world. It's a part of spiritual growth. It's a part of social growth. It's a part of maturity. We can't all stay in one spot and stick to a social script just because the company that we keep, or just because the spiritual ideology or the political philosophy of that community. And you're going to notice with the Three of Cups reversed this week, you're drifting apart because you're growing out of a need for such a thing. You're growing out of a need, again, for scripts. You're growing out of a need for adherence and the idea of a machine in general, much less being a cog in that machine. There's no meaning or purpose to be found in being an instrument or an ingredient anymore. And I think that with the Three of Cups reversed, a lot of you Aries people are going to be finding yourselves, again, moving cliques, moving groups, or perhaps, just moving away from a couple of choice individuals, Mars square to Neptune, where we are finding that it's time to create something more personal and something a little bit more individually catered for all involved, as opposed to, again, something that depends or is built on the idea of a certain type of social, spiritual, or ideological conformity or common ground. Okay, so we're moving away from reflective connections and moving to complementary ones, which is absolutely a huge part in upward growth, spiritually, personally, and socially. When it comes to the relationships area, we've got the Ten of Wands in reverse, and this is a gorgeous card. Again, another positive reverse card, because I'm actually seeing some kind of burden or some kind of obstacle, known or unknown, being eliminated from your path. In a lot of cases, this can happen where maybe somebody that we like, or maybe somebody that we're interested in, is becoming more available to us in some fashion. A ball and chain, a burden, or maybe an incompatible schedule is getting switched this week. For those of you who are not speaking to anybody at this point in time, you yourself, perhaps doing all of this purging that we've seen going on, have created successfully enough space, energetically, vibrationally, to actually match a relationship partner that is going to be more optimal and ideal for you during this time. For those of you who are currently coupled, the Ten of Wands reversed is all about, again, a partner even deciding to make a jump away from something that has been holding them back, blocking them, or keeping them down, requiring too much of their time, pulling their energy away from the relationship. And it does feel like ultimately everyone is deciding enough is enough. Let's stop trying to play by other people's rules. Let's stop living for other people, and we'll do it for ourselves. Thank you. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session, you can always go to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com.